As you can see, I am not Anita, but I do have an audio message from her that I would like to play for you. And after you hear from Anita, you'll hear from Tola.
And happy Mother's Day. I had hoped to speak to all of you in person, but COVID changed those plans for us. So thank goodness we have Tech and Jason and his wizardry. So last week, you heard Trish speak about how participating in the Sacred Ground program affected her and some insight into why a person might choose to participate. For me, it was very similar. It was enough is enough. It was time to act, time to do something. And I know Trish also talked about that need to do something. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and build off what she said. Sacred Ground for me was about learning. And that wasn't quite what I thought it would be about. I thought we were going to be doing more of the doing that Trish talked about. But one very strong truth developed. You can't do if you don't know. And like Trish, I thought I knew some, not a ton. I knew I had more to learn. But even if I had read every book and every article 1,000 times, watched and memorized every video, basically, if I had become the subject matter expert, I still wouldn't know everything that Sacred Ground has to teach, because so much of what I learned came from my fellow participants. It was that community. And I'm pretty sure those fellow participants could tell you that week after week, I did keep nagging about doing something. I felt like the slow down, we just need to learn, was an excuse. I kept saying, come on, folks, time for talk is past. It's time to act. And what probably took me all 10 sessions to realize, and I'm probably still working on it, is that the learning and the talking is acting to some degree. But even more, the listening is acting. Listening to other people's experiences, listening to their feelings, their thoughts, is so important. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that learning and listening is all we need to do, but it is the key foundation, I think, for moving forward, for truly understanding what might come next. And this was hard. It's so hard not to try to jump in and fix. Now, I will confess that I snuck in the occasional the occasional fix, with little things here and there, like paying rent to the Duwamish tribe, sharing knowledge and experience. I don't know how many times I said to people, I'm taking this great program, let me tell you about it. Supporting minority-owned businesses, those kinds of things. But that was the hard part for me. The hard part was taking it slow and taking the time to learn and listen. But don't get me wrong, it was not all hard. And the amazing part, the part that I think, not just for me, but I think most of us will probably tell you, it was the connections to the other participants. It was a gift beyond measure. My faith, my awareness, and my passion for social justice have grown exponentially. And I think I will be forever changed by the program. Is it a perfect program? No. Is the Episcopal Church working to improve it? Yes, they are. But even with its imperfections, this program is worth every last minute you might spend on it. I truly feel that I see the world around me differently. And that, especially moving to a new location, being in a bigger city, a very diverse city, has been crucial. So I strongly encourage you to make time to be involved in a Sacred Ground discussion group. And if that's not possible, perhaps at least talk to the people who are involved. There is more than one way to become the beloved community that we so desperately need. So best of luck. I wish I could be there with you all in person, but hopefully a visit is coming soon. We miss you all terribly. Take care.
Trish did a great job last week talking about the importance of discussing issues of privilege and equity within the Episcopalian faith community. Others will go into more detail about what we've done and where we may go. Some of the conversations were really challenging, but I'd like to talk about an unexpected benefit of all that hard work, the wonderful fellowship. When we started Sacred Ground last year, some of the other members I knew quite well, but some I hardly knew at all. As we worked together, all of us wound up sharing really personal details of our history and our faith journeys and our faults and limitations. These conversations can be hard work, but I found myself coming away with a much better understanding of and appreciation for the spiritual passion of every single person in the Sacred Ground program. It's been hard these last 2 years to build real, deep fellowship in our church. So many of the opportunities to break bread or put our backs into church-based projects were suspended during COVID. But hard work can come in many forms, and the ongoing dialogue made me feel more than ever part of something much larger than just my own personal journey with Christ. I was so impressed with these folks that it inspired me to look for ways to deepen my commitment to our community here at St. Michael's, which led me to volunteer for the lay preacher program. And I recruited a number of the people on my sermon review team from the Sacred Ground group. I suspect that most people who participate in Sacred Ground will find their sense of spiritual community here at St. Michael's refreshed and reinvigorated. Our church attracts amazing people, and spending time with them, working on the big questions about our church and our faith, continues to be an honor and a joy. Thank you.